Kevin, you know what? BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for all online betting.
Yeah,
Did you know? Were you aware of that?
I did know that. I did. I don't
good.
know a great many things, but I knew that.
Mm-hmm.
From the earliest odds to in-game live betting, BetOnline provides you with all the action and the ability to watch the games as they happen.
That's right, with the largest selection of odds on everything from football, NBA, NHL to entertainment and more.
Head to BetOnline today and get in on the action with America's most trusted site for online wagering.
BetOnline, the game starts here.
Boop, boop. Hey, everybody. Thanks so much for listening to the Dumb Dad Podcast. My name is Kevin, and I'm a dumb dad.
My name is Evan, and I am a dumb dad. And on today's episode, Kevin lies to his son twice and gets called out on it.
Oh.
Definitely lies to him.
Aggressive. And on and on this podcast, we learn that being a dumb dad for Evan runs in the family.
Hey-o.
Cheers.
Boy, that's got some bite to it. Oh, boy.
What? You got a look on your face. What do you got for me?
You want to? Here, I'll give you a list.
Okay.
Dodgers won the World Series this week. Congrats to them.
Last week, but yeah, congrats.
50-mile-an-hour winds expected this evening.
Knocked over. I'm going to sound like such
a
dad right
hold on.
now.
We'll go back to them if
Okay.
you want to pick one apart. 50-mile-an-hour winds expected this evening. My brother was in town this weekend. That was fun. Unfortunately, my dear grandmother passed away
Sorry for your
this
loss.
past weekend. Pick one.
We've had some crazy winds lately, and I was in my kitchen, and I heard the loudest, like, bam!
Yeah.
And I knew the wind we were being crazy. That I was just like, oh, man, what got tossed around in the old winds?
Yeah.
And I seem like, if you came to my house and didn't know anything about me, you'd be like, Kevin is I think he's a grill master. Because I have this one grill that was given to me by
There's this
a neighbor.
smokiness about you. Oh, yeah.
And I have a smoker my wife got me for my birthday when we first moved in this house. And then we did a brand deal with Traeger, and they gave me a Traeger. I have 3 grills, just all 3 next to each other.
Yeah.
Thankfully.
I love that you still have 3.
Well, I'm about to have 2 because one of them just absolutely smashed. The wind picked it up and threw it.
Woo!
The grill.
Yeah.
And it was funny. I was going to buy nothing yet. Just get this out of here.
Yeah.
And it fell to the ground. I picked it up and looked inside it, which I hadn't done in years. And I was like, oh, this thing is destroyed. Just like the
Rusty?
weather and rust and everything. It's a gas grill. But I was like, oh, okay. Well, that's good. What's one less thing? Call the city and be like, I need that pickup.
Large pickup.
Schedule
Let's go. Pickup. Dispose of this item, please.
Yeah, the winds have been pretty crazy. It's, besides earthquakes, that's the most weather we get here.
The Santa
wind.
Anas are in full effect. Yeah, I mean, it has been really wild. I mean, it's 50 miles an hour. That's fast. I mean, last night they were 20 to 30, and that or I guess 2 nights ago. And it's it woke me up in the middle of the night because stuff's blown all over the place. Mm-hmm. And 50 miles an hour is what we may get tonight. And we were telling my son that, and he was like, man, that was just lift cars off the ground, throw them around. And we were like, no, not even close, but it'll knock you over. But then my brain went right to a tornado does that. Those are 200 or 300 miles an hour. That's scary. That's really scary.
My neighbor has a gigantic
people just
tree.
we live with the fear of earthquakes.
Yeah.
I don't know. Can you name somewhere where you're just ho hum, things are great? I don't think so. You live in the ocean, you're afraid of a tidal wave, aren't you?
I lived in the Northeast, and it was just really bad.
You're just afraid of bullies out there.
Just really bad weather. Everything was extreme, but it was
fun.
You'd have really bad winters.
Yeah.
But they weren't not yet. They'll get there, but they were not bury you.
Like a Chicago winter, let's say, or
they've had. Yeah. We've had a couple where it was you open the door and you're 2 feet up your door. That's happened, but it's you just dig yourself out. You're fine.
I think you know what. All that to say, the Pacific Northwest, we didn't really have a thing. It was just you got gray skies 300 days a year.
just so wannabe Ireland.
You got to be able to take that.
Just a wannabe Ireland.
It's a wannabe
That's
Ireland.
what Seattle is.
There's no wind.
No wind.
Not an Irish wind. So that's where we are. I mean, yeah, I'll say a little thing here, but I feel, oh my God, my grandmother was so old, 95, 96 years old, basically. And, you know, all the things, all the ailments,
Yeah.
just waiting.
Yeah.
She was ready.
For sure.
And so, but it's, you know, and it's part of it's relief. I'm so lucky that I'm like over 40 years old and I finally lost my final grandparent.
Yeah.
I mean, it feels pretty lucky.
Yes.
I had a great grandmother until I was like 10
Yeah.
or something like
I
that.
had a great grandmother for
Or
a few
12
years.
maybe.
Yeah.
So I guess technically my son did as well until he was 9. So I mean that's kind of amazing. But
Is that your last grandparent?
yeah, it's my last grandparent.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I lost my first one. So this is my dad's mom. But my dad's dad died when I was like 5. So I lost one very, very early on, and then had both my grandparents. Both my grandmothers until later in life. And so my grandfather, the one that I kind of grew up with, my mom's dad, it was like I was very much respect for him as well growing up. So, yeah, and again, like expected, better place now.
Mm-hmm.
We all are, you know, and that's kind of a relief that it's a lot, you know, caring
Yeah.
for somebody who needs that kind of attention, and you're always she's on your mind and all that kind of stuff. So, but still, as soon as I get the news, nice message from my dad, still like, then I just go right to like the wonderful memories with her and everything. So
Sure.
it's kind of a long week. It was nice to have my brother in town because we can kind of connect on that a little bit. And it's been a minute since he's been able to get down here. So his wife and his little baby, my niece came. So it was fun. It was nice kind of family time in the gusting winds of Los Angeles with everything else on the horizon. So it was nice. So anyway, shout out to you, Grandma. One of my earliest memories was going over to her house. She'd babysit us. We would sit on the couch and she would make us some strawberry milk and we'd watch Price is Right.
Heck yeah.
And it's like, I would go do that tomorrow. Sounds fun.
Yeah. Well, Price is Right is great.
So cheers to you, Grandma. Anyway, there we are.
Cheers, Grandma. Well, man, sorry for your loss.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Have you and your brother discussed, not to make light of things, but the fact that every time you guys get together, something happens?
No, that, you know, I don't know. I know we gotta space out the visits. No, I know. No, that's funny. No, we didn't, but it was, man, it was funny. But I'll say this: we can jump in unless you have something at the top.
No, let's jump in.
We should jump into the dumb dad moments, and I'll tease mine and say that my brother was heavily involved in mine. So.
Oh, excellent! I love this. It's a family effort this week.
Yeah,
I love it. Let's go for it.
Yeah. I will say this though: it wasn't even me; it was his.
Okay.
Which is what's so wonderful about
Okay.
it. And the whole time I'm thinking, like, do we do this? Do we not do this? And I was like, yeah, I'm going to do this because it was one of those very classic dumb dad moments.
Yeah.
And what's wonderful is when your moron idiot brother that you love more than anything in the world has one right in front of you. And it's just the best thing in the world because you're just like, I'm not a part of this. I'm just watching.
Yep.
I got a front row seat to it.
Yeah. It's the best.
It was perfect. Right.
Yeah.
When we took the kids to school, they had school that day, but they're, you know, my niece is 1 year old. So we all went out to lunch together. My wife took the day off. And so we all went out to lunch together. And when we got to where we were going to eat, his wife was holding the baby and he went around to the back of the rental and like got their stroller out. And then he pulled it out of the back of the car and I proceeded to just watch him struggle to get the stroller to just unfold and click together so they could put the baby in it.
He just couldn't get it open.
Man, it was like really, this is like 90 seconds, 2 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
That's an eternity.
His kid's
you know?
one?
Well, we're kind of, one. Yeah, one.
He hasn't the stroller yet?
I think it's a newer one. I think it's a newer travel one. So I'll give him a little credit there.
Okay.
But all of that credit went right out the window when after he was like, I'm sorry, what's the button thing? He just couldn't remember, like, whatever the handle was.
The quick release.
Do you push it in and drag it, or is it a push? Like the
Yeah.
quick release thing, he didn't have it, and so he kept like doing like the flip out, and it would like go 80% of the way there, and then fold back up again. Like it just wouldn't like click open and land on all four wheels. It was just so. We were just quiet watching, just watching it, not unfold, but unfold. And it was just hilarious. I mean, it was just like, it wasn't even, obviously it wasn't even that big of a deal. We're just giggling.
Yeah.
But like the best part of it was, yes, it was kind of a newer one, but after watching him struggle and wasn't getting it, wife stepped in, baby in arm, one-handed it, snapped it open, set the baby in. It was like, chef's kiss.
Yeah.
You can't button that any better than her doing it with the baby in her hand. Oh my God, it was so funny.
I'm glad you gave him hell for it because they make so many different kinds of strollers, but I remember I had to put somebody's away that was way different than mine.
Yeah.
And I went to like my spot where the whatever it is. I forget if I don't even remember if I was opening or collapsing it.
Yeah.
But I remember I went to my spot where my thing was not there, and I was like, all right, take 5 seconds, look at the foot area in the back, look on the side, look in the middle seat. There it is. Click. You know. Once you deal with the stroller enough, you can kind of like eyeball all of them.
And he's still fairly new. Let's say that. I mean, he's still fairly new. So,
all right, I don't want to drag him too much, but he is fairly new. But a year old, I mean, you're taking that thing out. You're taking out a stroller daily. I know not that one. It was fairly new, but you're taking out a stroller daily because you're going for walks
daily. So I know it was just hilarious. I mean, like, and again, it wasn't even like even that big of a deal. It was just like I just saw. It was like it was my brother, and I was right there, and I just watched it and just enjoyed it.
That's the best that you get to enjoy that from a family member, because like for the most part, yeah. I mean, I'm not going to get to enjoy those early dumb dad moments, until my kids potentially have children, you know, and then I get to watch them from a chair, being like rookies.
Yeah, but you're still the old man doing that who can't get on the new super internet. So you're the dummy.
I know. It's going to be bad. My son's going to go my son's going to be a new father of like a week and a half, 2 weeks, and he's going to take the stroller out of the back of the car. He's going to lay it on the ground, and I'm going to go watch this, and he's going to go, okay, stroller open, and it's going to and I was like, that's not fair.
Walk or jog.
Yeah.
Oh, we're walking today.
Follow mode. And that just follows him. Retract.
Here's how still dumb you are now describing it. You think it's on wheels? Didn't you watch The Mandalorian? This thing's just floating around next to him. It's not on wheels. It just floats somehow.
No, we're going to be the poors who still have wheels, but the poor version still follows you around in the future. We can't
like the golf cart at the golf course with the guys that have the little remote thing.
Yep. Yeah. But we can't afford the Beverly Hills anti-gravity ones. But we'll have
the Leviathan or whatever that'll be called.
Yeah. What would it be? It'd be cool if they just called it a hoverboard.
Hover baby on board.
Hover baby board. Hover baby board. Hover baby on board.
Hover baby on board.
There we go.
Anyway.
Oh my God.
It was wonderful.
That's great.
Yeah. Loved every second of it.
That's great. That's great. It's fun to watch.
Yeah.
I totally get and did not resent my parents at all for enjoying all of the things that like I just tripping over as a parent when the new kids. It's just like, I understood it back then when I was a new parent. I was like, I'm sure you're having a great time with this because of the years that you had to deal with me. And now that my kids are 8 and 5, it's like, oh, I love watching somebody else.
Oh, I know.
Eat it.
It's so funny too. And like, we talked about it so much that it's like, I mean, that's what this is, right? It's just about like, you're going to look stupid so much. You're going to fail a lot. Just learn from it.
Yep.
Laugh about it because it makes it easier.
Yep.
But it's fun to laugh at somebody else once in a while.
It's the best laugh at somebody else. That's why we read user submissions.
That's right. User submissions are important.
So that's good. So my dumb dad moment is brought to you by busy day, flaky brain. So we have a thing at our school. It's our 3rd annual fall festival.
Yeah.
And
Third annual.
Third annual. I guess I started it
Late to the game there when celebrating fall at your school.
Yeah, I think they like to do it. I don't know why they do it then. I think because they're just like, let's get through Halloween, then we'll have this, and then I think I don't really know. The principal was funny, cutting ahead to the end of the night. She's like, "This is you, man. Third year in a row. Your third annual fall festival." I was like, "I did this."
I know what I'm saying is like, how long has that school been there?
He was there. It's been there for like 40 something years.
Yeah, third annual.
But it was closed. It was closed for.
Fall's been around
20.
for a while.
Well, you can't call it annual if you skip a year.
You can call it semi-annual.
Exactly. So it's not semi-annual. I think they have done fall festivals, but
few and far in between is what you're saying. Not
this
on a
is one of those.
basis.
This is one of those moments as like the PTA president that like you get credit for something that I was like, oh, I'm pretty sure somebody suggested that, and I was just like, yeah, sure, we can do that. I don't care.
Shouldn't we have like a festival or something?
It's like our big event of the year. It's our big.
Yeah.
Although I did movie night, which our school hadn't done for years, it has done it. So that I guess is our new big thing too. But anyway, so we have the fall festival. Not the president this year. Great feeling. Great feeling.
Yeah.
You know, I just
Speaking of election cycles.
speaking of elections, it's nice to
Boy, is it nice to not be the president. Let me tell you.
it's nice to term out. Now I get why all the
Tomorrow will be an easy day for me. I won't have to be president.
Yeah. I get now why all the previous U.S. presidents are kind of just that are done running and all that stuff are just kind of
just kind of making their rounds, doing their little waves,
just making jokes at people, just being all dad jokes and stuff. But on the day, I was like, all right, I gotta dig in, I gotta help. So right after drop off, they need me to go to a pumpkin patch, and this pumpkin patch is just like take whatever you can fit in your car.
Oh my God.
We were just like, oh great. So I'm rushing the kids.
Let's test the rear suspension on this thing.
Exactly. So I'm rushing the kids out the door, and we're walking out the door, and my son doesn't have a water bottle. And I was like, oh, man. So I just like run inside, grab his water bottle, come outside, walk with him with it. And we're about halfway to school, and I was probably throwing it in the air or something, talking to my brother and sister-in-law who come with us. Dropped it on the ground, and it landed like when you perfectly drop your iPhone, and it just like makes a slap sound that you're like, that's too much
surface contact.
Too much surface contact at the same time. That's bad. This thing is, and I picked it up, and I just did collapse the whole mouthpiece into itself. Just thing is shattered, and it was just like, oh, okay. And my son was just like, Dad, did you break my water bottle? And I was just like, yeah, now you only have 3 left.
I know.
Sorry about it.
Long-time listeners will recall when my son was in soccer and I tossed him his water bottle and he didn't catch it and it shattered.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was there and then it wasn't.
So
shattered.
That's how the top of this was.
Yeah.
Top was shattered. And I was just like, oh, man, wow. I'm sure you were the same way when you tossed it to your son. You were a little dumbfounded, like, wow, that broke incredibly well. I'd expect it to crack and be like, oh, man, I cracked it. It shattered. I dropped a dozen eggs, it looked like.
Yeah, it was like Thanos had snapped away his water bottle.
Yeah, there's a bunch of little dusty pieces
just
everywhere. Yeah. So then my son was like, I don't have water. And I was like, buddy, I live right here. I'm going to be at the school.
I live right here.
It's fine. Like, we walk to school every day. Relax about it. Let's get to school. Go to school. Go to the pumpkin patch. Get all the pumpkins and scarecrows. And then somebody shows up with a pickup truck. Terrible timing on my part. Terrible time. I was we were getting in the we were in the car, and somebody waved me back out of the car. Can you help put the hay bales in the truck? And I was like, oh, we're so close to being free. So yeah, move the hay bales.
I told you we should have worn the mustaches.
Yeah. Yeah. Or just one of the scarecrow's faces. Anyway, we get to school, we start unpacking, and it was cool. My parents were in town because this was around Halloween. So the next day they were like, what can I do to help? I was like, come with me. Come see their school. You've never been inside. Come on campus. They'll sign you in, all that stuff. So they're helping us just like set up and stuff. And then I was like, "Ooh, it's 10:15. Let's head over to the kindergarten yard and you can see the kids, your grandkids playing." Because my brother and my brother's kid and our kid are in the same grade, same class. And so we go to the yard and we see them. And we're like, "Hi guys!" And they come running over and give us hugs. My son's like, "Dad, where's my water bottle?" And I was like, "Right, sorry, bud. I got caught up in this.
I shattered it.
But I told him I'd get him another one."
Yeah. Also, just like I shattered your hopes of thinking I'd get you another water bottle.
Yeah.
Go play Foursquare.
Yeah. So it was, I was like, "My bad. Oh God, thanks for reminding me, bud. I'm just setting up, and I'll get you a water bottle." Cut to bedtime.
Hard cut.
Hard cut
Hard cut to bedtime.
to bedtime. My son is about to go to bed.
Lips cracked. He's like a skeleton. He can't even.
Yeah.
The Sahara. He
I did-
crawled through the Sahara all day.
During the fall festival, I did give him
Well, and it's been windy.
a water bottle. I don't know if this is the first water he's had all day. Might be. But I gave him a water, just a regular Kirkland signature water bottle during the fall festival. Like, "Oh my God, I still haven't given you water." Cut to bedtime, and he goes, I just love when kids do this. He goes, "Dad, you lied to me twice today."
Ooh. Ugh.
And I was like, "Buddy, I did." "Wait, twice? What was the other one?
Yeah.
What were the two lies?" And he's like, "One, you said you'd get me a water bottle. I don't have a water bottle." I was like, "No, I know. Do you want one for bedtime?"
I'm looking at my hands.
Yeah.
They don't have a water bottle in them.
And then he does something that I just love.
I have a cat's tongue.
Yeah.
I
I look like an extra in Dune.
had to do the special walk to my bed to not wake up this. Where's my water bottle?
Where's my water? And I love when he does this. And it's clearly just like he's got a big imagination, wild little brain.
Yeah.
And he's 5. A lot of things work against him sometimes.
Sure.
Because he's like, "You lied to me, 1, by telling me you get me a water bottle.
Yeah. Fool me once.
And 2, you said we'd get out of school early today." And I was like, "But you got me dead to rights on the water bottle."
Yeah.
I never came
What are we
close
talking
to
about?
saying that. I was like, you lost all of the high ground. Now you're just
Yeah.
making stuff up.
Yeah. See what you did here? Shot your wad. You can't do that.
What?
Can't do that. You reached for the ace in the sleeve, and
Yeah.
turns out it was a joker.
But it's always a bummer when
Can't
kids
do that. They call you
when
on
they,
your.
when they twist the knife of your dumb dad moment. It really made me sad when you didn't do that.
And like,
It's like, okay.
I didn't lie to you.
Yeah.
I said I was going to get you something and I forgot. I wouldn't really call that lying.
Yeah.
Well, I think lying has intention behind it.
Yeah. Lying is being like, "I'll get you your water." I ain't getting that good of
I ain't
water.
getting that water.
And my mom's like, "Get him a water. Why would you say that to me?"
Why would you? Yeah. In confidence like that? It's our son.
I'm gonna go buy him the biggest water bottle. Then it's gonna be a Stanley because I'm a grandparent and that's what we do.
Spoiled him with the best water bottle. I'm going to find the best water bottle. Indestructible water bottle.
Indestructible. But that is my dumb dad moment. We did it. 3rd annual
Lying to
fall
your children.
festival. We did it. Lying to my children. But now we're gonna move on to the dumb parent submission.
We get a user submission here. We're going to read for you. Kevin, I believe you have the
I have the honors this week.
You have
of
the honors
reading
this
it.
week. I cannot wait to sit back, relax, and then just react to this beautiful dumb parent moment. Just a reminder really quick before you start. If you have them, send them in to us at dumbdadpod@gmail.com. We like to read them on each episode now. It's one of our favorite things to do, so we're just going to keep doing it. So you just keep sending them in, dumbdadpod@gmail.com. If you're a parent and you're listening to this, you've done something stupid. Don't lie. Okay? Send it in.
If you think you haven't, phone a friend, meaning the other parent of the child.
Ask your spouse or partner, whoever it is. They will have a brief pause in the action while they kind of look to the ceiling and go,
They might
I
say,
can't believe you forgot about the time that you
"Really? You don't remember
when we had
the zoo?
Yeah.
No pants. You don't remember that?"
Horse,
Yeah.
popcorn, sunglasses.
Ban-
Not ringing a bell?
Banned for life. had to move, changed our name. Wait, what was happening? So this one is from John. John resubmitted, which we appreciated.
Yep.
Thanks for
Appreciate that.
resubmitting, John.
Yep.
Because like we said, some of them got lost in the shuffle. And also, we're called the Dumb Dads.
On brand. Here we go.
Big fan. My go-to podcast now. I love it. As a new dad, it makes me both excited for the future and nostalgic for all the stuff that seems to quickly pass by. Becoming a dad basically took over my personality, and I'm 100% okay with that.
Yeah.
As well you should be. I'd like to say I have a single dumb dad moment to share, but like the podcast, I could share one every week. That's right, you could.
There you go.
But
Exactly. Send them into us.
Yes, send them in. And we do like the big old timers, but yeah, give them whatever you got.
Yeah.
But one in particular stood out to me for its epic proportions. For some reason, known to no one but inevitable, as soon as I became a father, I started getting really interested in how clean my car is. Terrible time to start that.
I like the challenge.
I like the challenge.
Like,
yeah, sure.
I bet I can push the waves back into the ocean.
Yeah, it's like when my wife and I like clean out drawers and go, from now on, we're going to be good about this drawer.
Yeah.
No, you're not.
Actually, you know how you can do that? You clean it out like that, and then you glue it shut.
Yeah, that's way. Just don't put any like food in there. Don't do that.
Not before you glue it shut. No.
It came with the fascination with World War II and the need to smoke meat regularly. It's just a dad thing, I hope. It is a dad thing. So my son recently turned 1, and it was time to make that switch from the infant car seat to the much more complicated multi-stage strappy contraption that is a regular car seat. Remember, I am a new dad, so this is all foreign to me.
Strapping him in like an F1 driver over here.
That's what it is, man. That is.
I mean, it is a 5-point harness. I will say that.
It is a lot of harnesses. It's a lot of buckles. And then it has a lot of promise that this is going to last you from when they're rear facing to when they're like 9 and still in a booster. And that is a wild promise to make.
And I will say it's also when you're feeling like your kid is still very small and they're just kind of like sitting there. It's like, and you got to get it super tight, but your kid still is like the shape of a child is like they're in there. It's like yogurt with pretzels on the inside.
Yeah. Ooh, okay.
Soft little babies. And you're like, it's almost like I can't get this thing tight enough.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
I do know what you're saying.
Where you're like, I got to clip this thing in tight, but it's like, I mean, I could do this until they're spilling out of it because
you could.
There's no structure in there, but I don't want to break the little pretzel skeleton in there either. So it's like, when is it? Until it's like tight to get my finger in there, that's tight enough, I guess. But you don't want to hurt the baby.
You don't want to hurt him, but you don't know.
You know what I'm saying?
So don't want him to fly past you in an accident. Also, pretzels in yogurt is exactly what happens when children this age finish their lunch. You're like, are you done with? Why did you put the pretzels in? Let's move on.
So there's only one thing to throw it away, Dad.
Yeah. Why is there water in there everywhere, too?
I was trying to get the moisture out of it because you said you'd get me a water, and I'm still waiting.
I'm going to soak it like a hot dog eating contest.
Oh, God.
I've ordered a black one to match the black leather in my SUV. Super stoked about how cool my kid's car seat will look. I spent about an hour tightening and smashing and clipping things, just trying to get the thing to feel like it's not a potential projectile. It is amazing how you're like, I could tighten a little more. I could tighten a little more.
Super appreciate the let's get the one that matches the interior. Like it was made for the car.
That's smart.
Oh, yeah. You get in there and put your knee in the bottom of the thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So far, it sits up way more than his first seat and requires about 10 times the effort to be stable. And I'm only about 10% sure that I have it correct. But according to the tiny, confident mom on YouTube that seemed to easily lock it in place with no sweating or cursing, my experience, this is how to do it. After I'm satisfied with my effort, I decide we are going to take a quick trip to the post office to try it out. Let's go get the P.O. Box mail.
Do a little brake check, see if the kid's still sitting there.
That was a little too hard. My son gets strapped in, confused with all the new things. Definitely not happy with the way he is sitting, but interested in the fact that we are in Dad's car now. I've got a new pine scent diffuser my wife just bought me for Christmas, and the car is a little overpowering with its fake pine smell. But this is just a quick trip. We've got this. It's going to be fun. I think that scent thing is going to come back to haunt us.
That's in the industry we call foreshadowing.
Foreshadowing.
Yeah.
Son was pretty reserved the whole trip. Seems like a total success until I pull into the post office and I hear him vomiting.
Oh, no.
Like he is a fountain in Paris. So much vomit coming out of him. I'm freaking out. He seems totally unfazed, literally looking me in the eye while booting what must have been 3 meals worth of milk and eggs. It's like his body weight in vomit. I try to calm down so he doesn't freak out, and I climb into the back seat to survey the damage.
It was a lot.
We live in Alaska. It's winter. And I have to clean up what I can while hot boxed in the back seat of this vomit mobile.
Oh, my goodness.
I feel like you could just open the car doors in Alaska, let it all freeze over, and just kind of break it off like
take it out like a big
candy caramel
vomit
thing.
chip.
Just chip it out, get those little hammers. Everything is going in doggy poop bags. I'm gagging through fake smiles, lying about how much fun we are having. I burn through a package of wipes and realize there is no